Hi guys, how's it going? This is Matt Tomato here, and welcome to another Airport City Airline Tycoon guide. So today we're going to talk about the recently upgraded, radically improved Alliance mission. So it is no longer there's still the Alliance table going on over here, as we see. We have the Alliance ratings, so we have the total number of passengers flown per week and things like that. But you'll notice that we have the prizes still in place over here. We have all the map sets and things like that. However, they've radically changed how this works in that there is an additional way of getting prizes and getting good stuff. So basically, you can get these maps and things like that by flying the most amount of passengers, which is this particular league system here. And I have criticized this in the past, in particular in one of my improvement videos where I suggested that this needed a serious improvement. So you can see here that we still have all the different gifts and things like that and the chests by flying the most amount of passengers. However, there's a new system that's been introduced called the Weekly Alliance Mission, and that is the gold little folder thing that you can see over here on the right hand side. And the Weekly Alliance Mission basically gives you 3 destinations, and it gives you a task to basically fly a certain number of times to this particular destination. And you can see we have three different planes here, 3 different destinations available to me, and I have 5 days and 10 hours. Usually, you have the full. I have 5 days and 10 hours based on my current time of when I'm recording this. But you get a whole week, so every Monday, and you get that amount of time to fly as many times as you possibly can to these 3 destinations. Now, you can just the once change one of these flights. So, for instance, here I've decided that Ibiza is a little bit too full of British holiday makers this time of year, so I'm going to hit the change flight over here. So the first thing is it'll reduce it. You will lose your current progress on that flight, but I've just started, so I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to hit this, and I'm going to change the flight, and it's going to give me a new one. So in this case, it's giving me Yekaterinburg. Now, of course, you can change again. However, this costs you airport cash. But you can see here that I have these 3 flights over here, and basically I need to fly as many times as possible to these destinations. And each alliance member in your alliance will get a different set of destinations. For instance, John Barrow over here has been given Egypt, which is pretty good, Yerevan, and San Francisco. That sounds quite good, actually. And more often than not, you get given destinations based on your level. For instance, the level 18 down here, who is slightly newer to the game, has been given some jet planes, and St. Petersburg, I believe, is also a jet flight. So plenty of jet flights, because that would sort of reflect the level that that player would be at. Whereas myself over here, I'm at level 70. So I've been given a turboprop flight here, but I've also been given the Falcon and the Giant flight. So that reflects a little bit more of the level that I might be at. So that's the way that goes. And this is the way, by completing these flights, by working your way through, the overall alliance, depending on how many flights they fly over here, gets rewards depending on the percentage of the total task completed. So, for instance, if I were to complete my entire set of flights, because there's 4 members here, that would be 25% of the total task. Therefore, we'd have 25% down here as an automatic current progress. And of course, if each player contributes in a certain way, you can add that up. For instance, I might contribute a 9%, and then someone else might contribute another, I don't know, 12. Heck knows, sort of that sort of region. And eventually, as you work your way up the percentages here, you get bonuses. So you can see here that if we achieve 10% of our total flights, we would receive 2 Alliance Reputation points, which goes towards the this here, the total Alliance Reputation. And of course, if you complete this here, so we're at 10 of 20, if we were to get to 20 overall, then we can add another member to the Alliance. And so the idea being that the more you complete these flights, the more reputation points you can pick up, and therefore the more members you can add to the Alliance, with a view to therefore pushing to go for those passenger prizes for the total number of flights in the week. You also get some bonuses here. So, for instance, if we reach 10%, we would get to the flight simulator. So we'd all get the flight simulator bonus, which increases flight experience by 10%. on all our flights. It doesn't actually say how long that lasts for, and it keeps on working up here where flight experience plus 30 and general experience, and then this one here gives you 8 alliance rep points at 50%, and it just keeps on going up there all the way up to the big one, which is if you complete everything, then you'll get 20 alliance reputation points, and you'll get a bonus that increases the duration of all active bonuses for an entire week. Epic. So what does that mean? Well, that means that every player has a set of flights that is designed based on their level. So yes, it's tough, but you're given the whole week to complete them. Even if you just completed one of these, for instance, if this person just flew 34 times to Egypt, that would go a long way to completing this 10% over here, just from one person. So if each person did a complete set of one of their flights, then they'd be in a good place to be able to at least contribute quite a significant percentage to this down here. So as well as once you complete your, so you'll see the alliance reputation over here. So once we reach 20 over here, we'll be able to add another member, but also the alliance reputation will go up. So once we complete this, this will turn from a 1 to a 2. We'll have a level 2 reputation, and you can spend that reputation in the new mechanic, which is the Alliance Office. Now, it's this building over here. You build the Alliance Office, and depending on your level of Alliance reputation over here, you can build certain buildings at the cost of some tokens. And these buildings are super. I mean, look at this. If we get to the second level of the Alliance, we can unlock another reserve hangar. So that increases the massively, like the number of planes that your airport could have by having a second reserve hangar. That is absolutely brilliant. That is amazing. Obviously, that's going to come at a cost of tokens. And you can see we have additional buildings here. We have to have a reputation of 5 to be able to unlock this. But these buildings over here auto-collect contracts for the nearby commercial buildings. The Visa Center does the same thing, but with a bigger radius and things like that. And the Grand Hotel increases your maximum population. And there's other buildings available as well, like there's tax service, things like that. Increases profits when auto-collecting commercial buildings. Loads of really cool stuff depending on the reputation of your alliance. Additionally, there are planes that you can buy. So they've unlocked the ability to buy the golden planes now freely, as opposed to just having them through events. You can actually buy the S2 gold planes, which are 30% faster than the original standard planes, and these things cost silver tokens and gold tokens depending on the level that you're looking at, what sort of plane you're looking at, and things like that. Additionally, there is the mystery super bonus that is also available for tokens, and the special logos that are available for your alliance, but only available for the alliance owner, and I'm not actually the owner of my alliance, so I have no ability to mess around with that. So obviously, the final result, the end product that you're looking for here is to complete your flights to be able to unlock these things, to increase the reputation of your alliance, to be able to build these extra buildings. This is the end goal right here, is to build these extra buildings that are cool. They do not take up population room. They take up a little bit of electricity, but they do not take up population room. And they're brilliant. Some of these are absolutely excellent. And they're going to help your airport move along quite nicely. And the other thing that it does is, of course, it supplies you with a whole pile of flights. So if I were to fly to Canberra, for instance, Canberra is not actually one of the standard destinations that is available in the regular flights mode. So what it actually does is unlock an extra flight for me to be able to get some extra stars, which is really, really good. So these are going to contribute to your stars. They're going to push you up the levels and things like that. They're going to make you a more experienced pilot and all sorts like that. And it's brilliant. They give you lots of rewards, like city maps and things like that. Experience a good amount of coins, actually, slightly more coins than the regular Turkish or Washington. Not much, but still enough. Requires a landing lamp, but I got an absolute shit ton of those. So that's okay. And also what they do is obviously the regular flights here. So if we look at Melbourne, for instance, if I were to fly all those flights to Melbourne, I will be contributing to the top 100. So if I were to fly all those Melbourne flights, then obviously I'd be looking in Melbourne over here, and I'd be seeing where I am in the top 100. with a view to netting some extra rewards like these chests and some coins and things like that. That would be the ideal way of going about that. So I think that this is an absolutely brilliant improvement to the game. This really is, because the Alliances was one of the most unfair, and it was built okay, but for the lower level players, it meant that they just couldn't compete at all. There was no way that they could contribute in any way to the passengers and the numbers that were required for the Airline Alliance ratings over here. There was just no way that that was going to happen. Whereas now, what they've been given is, with this mission, they've been given these flights that are tailored to their level, and so they're able to contribute a lot more in an alliance. So it means that lower level players are less likely to be kicked out of the alliances, because obviously there's all these the big alliances want a minimum number of passengers flown per week, and if you don't meet that, there's a good chance you'll be kicked out of that alliance. And so that sort of demoralized a lot of players, because, oh, well, I can't be part of an alliance. This is useless. You know, what's the point in having this here? Because it affects my gameplay in absolutely no way whatsoever. There's nothing beneficial for the player. But in this instance, where they've created these flights and they've tailored these levels depending on how far you are in the game, it allows the lower level players to contribute on a similar level to the higher level players and bring all of these players together. For instance, we have quite a balanced alliance here of higher and lower level players. The actual owner is 76, I'm at 70, and then the other two are 31 and 18. That's quite a balance of lower level and higher level. And so you can see Egypt and things like that has all been tailored for these lower level players. And it gives them a chance, and that is excellent. And it's a fantastic improvement. Well done to Game Insight. I don't know whether they listen to my advice at all, but at the very least, they have done something about this, and it is absolutely brilliant. And it gives the lower level, less capable alliances more of a say, and gives them a chance to at least earn some sort of reward somewhere along the line, and therefore buy buildings and get things that are going to benefit them, even though they're lower level. Wow, okay, that was just bad. So it gives them a chance, and that's the best thing about it. It gives them a chance, and I like that. So kudos to Game Insight for that. If anyone's got any questions or queries about the alliances, then please drop them in the comments below, or alternatively message me. I will be sharing this on the Game Insight, or the Airport City page rather, so feel free to reply to the comments thread on that and ask me any questions that you guys might have. Any suggestions, feedback, or anything like that, please feel free to let me know. And be sure to subscribe if you like Airport City or any other games on my channel. Cheers for watching, guys. Thank you very much. I hope you find this guide useful. And if anybody who's watching at this particular time, have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year 2018. See you later, guys.